Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome again to each one of you to the virtual session of science. And I hope you all are doing very well, children. So, let us continue. For today's session, we are going to continue with the chapter Light, part 4, chapter 15. So, let us see what are we going to do today. We will first see lenses, what are lenses. And as you know, you have to maintain your notebook. You have to take down all the important points discussed in the session in your notebook. I hope you all are writing in your notebook, children. So let us see what do you mean by lenses. A lens is a part of a reflecting material like glass or plastic but curved from both sides. Lenses are unlike mirrors that have a reflecting surface only on one side. Depending upon its shape, a lens can be categorized as convex lens, concave lens. So it's a reflecting material like glass or plastic, but it is curved from both sides. And it is not like a mirror, it has only one reflecting surface. And it is categorized into convex lens and concave lens. Let us see what is convex lens and concave lens. A convex lens is curved outside. It is thicker in the center and narrows down at the edges. It merges the light rays passing through it at a certain point. Therefore, it is also called a converging lens. I hope you all have taken down all the points about lenses and you have to write about convex lens as well. So it is curved outward, it is thicker in the center and it narrows at the edges. It is a converging lens because it merges the light rays passing through it at a certain point. Let us see concave lens. A concave lens is curved inwards. It has a wider edges and a thinner center. It reflects back the light that travels through it in different directions. Therefore, it is also called a diverging lens. So, it is just the reverse of the convex lens where it is curved inward. And it is inward curves and the edges over here is wider. You can just compare and you can reverse whatever you have written about the convex lens. You are just going to write opposite of that. That becomes the concave lens. So it is wider at the edges and thinner at the center, and it reflects the light travel through it in different direction. Therefore, it is called as diverging lens, whereas convex lens is also called as converging lens. So let us see the diagram of concave lens and convex lens. Here you will see in concave lens with a cave in the middle. It is thinner at the center and it has a concave lens have a wider edges. Whereas convex lens you will see at the center it is thicker and it is tapering towards the end. That means narrower towards the end. You draw this diagram in your notebook, children. Types of spherical lenses. So it is categorized into concave lens and convex lens. Please draw this diagram so that the concept of convex lens and concave lens is very clear with you. I hope you are drawing this in your notebook, children. Then you will draw this diagram to show how the light rays get converged when you use convex lens. So in convex lens, you can see the light rays falling on the convex lens. At a point, they will merge. That is called as focus. So that's why it is called as converging lens. All the light rays falling on the convex lens will reflect and it will converge at a certain point. Whereas in concave lens, light rays falling on concave lens, you can see light rays falling on the concave lens, children, here. When it get reflected, it will go in different direction, it will get scattered. That's why they are called as diverging lens. You have to draw this diagram also in your notebook, children, so that you should know why convex lens is called as converging lens and why concave lens is called as diverging lens, because the light rays which falls on them, it will merge in convex lens and it will get scattered in concave lens. It will go in different direction in concave lens. I hope this is clear and you are drawing it in your notebook. Now let us see images formed by convex and concave lenses. how does they form image? So a convex lens forms an image that is real inverted. That means in the inverted image, that's why it's real image. The image is large and appears close to the lens. So please take down extremely important point over here to understand that the convex lens always form a real inverted image, and the image is large and appears closer to the lens. Whereas concave lens forms an image that is virtual, always erect, and small and appears far away. So these are the properties of the images formed by convex lens and concave lens. So in real image, where you see the merging of the light rays after reflection, whereas in concave lens they appear to meet but they are not actually meeting. That's why it is called as virtual image, and virtual image is always erect, whereas real image is always inverted. And you should know the size of the image form. Convex lens larger image and appear closer, whereas concave lens smaller image and appears far away. Let us see this diagram where image formed by convex and concave lens. So here you can see the image formed by convex and concave lenses. You see the large image of a fly by convex lens. So a fly kept in front of the convex lens, you will see the image form is larger than the size of the fly. Whereas in concave lens, when you keep the fly in front of the concave lens, you will see the image which is formed, which is closer and smaller image of a fly you will get. So see the distance also. Here the convex lens, you will see the image over here. As mentioned in this, the image is large and appear close to the lens. See, an image appears to the lens, and here a small image of a fly will be formed by the concave lens. Please understand this concept, children. I hope it's clear with you. You can take an example of an object. Instead of a fly, you can take any object and you can draw this ray diagram to understand the image formed by convex and concave lenses. So you place any object over here in front of the convex lens and concave lens, and you show the ray properly. Just take object where you can easily make an object and show a smaller and a larger image formed by the lenses. Here the larger image is formed by the convex lens and a smaller image is formed by the concave lens, and you can show the arrows, you can show the rays, you can show the converging of the rays, light rays after reflection by convex lens, and you can show the diverging of the rays after reflection in concave lens. This is how the image is formed by the convex and concave lenses. Now let us see sunlight and what is a rainbow. Since we are dealing with lenses and we are dealing with reflection, you need to understand what is a rainbow. So let us see in nature how this reflection plays a very important role for the formation of rainbow. Light chapter, since you're learning, you need to learn about the sunlight, you need to learn about the phenomenon of cause due to the reflection of light. So here you can see the formation of a rainbow, sunlight falling here, white light of the sun falling on the water droplets in the air, and the reflected rays, due to the reflection you see for formation of 7 colors. That means a white light will split into 7 colors. In the sky you will see a rainbow. This is a rare phenomenon where you see during monsoon, because you have lots of humidity in the air, you have water droplets in the air, and the reflection of the rays of the light of the sunlight will be you can see that reflection. Because of the reflection, it is going to fall on the water droplets and it will reflect, and due to that phenomenon of rainbow will happen. A rainbow is a natural phenomenon in which the light rays of the sun are reflected and refracted by the water droplets present in the atmosphere. So, reflection is just the bouncing back of the light rays. After falling on a surface, it will change its direction. That is reflection. But what is refraction? Refraction is a bending of the light rays falling on an object. That means it is when it's passing from one medium to the another medium. So here for refraction, because of the change of the medium, there will be a bending of the rays of the light. That is called as refraction. So because of these two things happening together during monsoon, because of the water droplets present in the atmosphere, rainbow will be seen. And it is a natural phenomenon because it is not going to happen very frequently or you can see very often. It happens rarely and therefore it's a natural phenomenon. So reflection is just a change of direction of the rays of the light after falling on an object, but refraction is the bending of the rays of the light due to change of the medium from one medium. That means sunlight coming from the in the atmosphere going in water. That water droplet is a different medium. So air to water, water to air, the medium is changing. That's why there will be a bending of a ray of light that will cause refraction. And a rainbow appears as an arc on the sky that will contain a band of seven colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. So these are the seven colors of rainbow, as you all know. Please take this down in your notebook, children. This also means that the white light of the sun contains seven colored lights in it that separate out due to refraction. That is called a spectrum of lights. That means a white light splitting into seven colors. That is also called as spectrum of lights because a white light consists of seven colors. And this spectrum of white light can be seen in the following. And white light splitting into seven colors, this phenomenon can be seen in rainbows. You can see in soap bubbles. Sometimes you just see soap bubbles. When you blow bubbles with the help of the soap solution, you must have tried this. When you're playing with the soap bubbles, you will see seven colors of the light, white light splitting into seven colors. You can see it on a surface of a CD. It's a highly reflecting surface. And you can see in a prism, a white light passing through a prism will split into seven colors. So here all these places where you will see the splitting of the white light into seven colors. That means you will see the spectrum of white light. I hope this is clear. Please take this down in your notebook. Here you will see the diagram of the spectrum of white light through a prism. So you see a prism over here, glass prism, transparent glass prism. White light falling or just a ray of light. Here they have taken it's falling on the glass prism, and when it's coming out of the prism, the you will see the seven colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. That means the white light consists of seven colors. It is going to split into seven colors when it passes through a glass prism, and it is beautifully seen in a device called as spectrometer, which will help you to see the splitting of the white light. When it passes through a prism, you will see the seven colors. Now, what is Newton's disk? Newton's disk is based on this concept of splitting of the white light into seven colors, and seven colors will merge to give you one single white color. So this is a Newton disk where you will see a disk over here divided into seven colors. It's painted into seven colors with equal parts, and when you rotate it in a very high speed, the seven colors will merge and it will appear as single white color. This is called as Newton disk. Even we can prepare, even you can prepare at home. So this is called as Newton disk, where you can actually see the merging of the white, merging of all the colors, and that merging of all the seven colors. When you rotate it in a very high speed, all that seven colors will merge and it will appear as a white. So that white reflection you will see because that's merging of seven colors. This shows white light consists of seven colors. The Newton disc can be obtained by dividing a disc into seven partitions and painting each of them with seven colors of the rainbow. Even you can try this. And when the disc is rotated at a fast pace in a daylight, all the colors tend to mix together and the discs appear whitish in color. So this is based on that concept of the merging of the seven colors into white light. Please take this down, the notes about the Newton disc. You should know what is Newton's disc. Thank you, children. I hope you'll have taken down all the important points discussed in the session. Thank you again and have a great day.